Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, your virtual aviation aviator. You know, there's a saying, if at first you don't succeed, try, and try again. So, this is my second attempt at making a live stream today. The first one didn't turn out so well, so yeah, I am back at it. So anyway, welcome aboard, and today I am in a narrow body. Yes, I am. Yeah, I think a narrow body is where I am most comfortable, and it feels great. Okay, so yeah, let me introduce my co-pilot, my first officer. Uh, say, hey, Linda, say hello.
Hello, Cap.
All right, good deal. So, Linda looks like she's working finally on the first attempt. I couldn't get her to hear me, but looks like I've got that sorted out. All it took was a reboot. Had no clue what caused it. So, yeah, I'm in Atlanta. Let's see, focus on your live stream and let YouTube insert ads for you. If you like me, I hate ads. Anyway, so I'm just going to dismiss that. Okay, so we are in Atlanta, and our flight today should take us to Raleigh, Durham. All right, and we are Southwest 1301, I think, or either 1302. Let's see, what are we? I've got a ton of windows open that I left open while trying to resolve some issues. So we can get these windows closed, and the other thing I want to do is regenerate my operational flight plan, because at this point it's probably obsolete and the winds may have changed. So I'm gonna do, I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm in Sim Brief, and I'm just gonna edit flight and look at my runways, check the weather. See, now winds have changed. They're 050 at 5, and my runways have not changed. So yeah, just delete the runways in here. I don't know the best way to do that. And I also want to get active sky running. So just bear with me. I know it's a lot of bearing that I'm having to ask you guys to do, but until I get this down packed, then bearing with me is what I really appreciate. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but trust me, I did. All right. So, Atlanta is reporting light rain. All right, and so we're going to do. Actually, we jump in the aircraft, and we'll pick the best runway for us. Okay. And the best way to do that is to trust good old Avitab. So we're in Atlanta, and elevation, and now this screen here, once I click on this, it goes away, and I have never figured out how to bring it back. So if any of you guys know, I would appreciate if you were to um, give me some pointers on that. Anyway, you'll see what I mean here. So I'm going to click this, and you see that screen went away, and I can't get back to that informational page. Just can't do it. Anyway, so I'm at the airport, and let's see where we are. So we are here, and 8 right is going to be our departing aircraft. We always want to depart on the longest runway. So now I know what to tell SimBrief to depart me on. So let's get back to SimBrief, and I guess I can share this with you guys. Why should I be selfish, right? I'm just being selfish by not sharing it. Okay, so this is my flight plan, Southwest 1301, and which is modeled after a real world flight from Atlanta to Raleigh, Durham. I think it's already landed by now. Anyway, freight is auto, airtime, scheduled block time's an hour and a half, and it shouldn't take that long. We want runway 8 right. The SID and the star, altitude, flight level 290, 162 passengers, and put us some freight on board. Okay, and we'll take 20 minutes of extra fuel. So we're going to change this to minutes, and we'll generate this flight. Good deal. Good deal. And yeah, so airtime is just over an hour. That gives us 30 minutes. Got 10 minutes to taxi out, and 20 minutes to taxi out, and 10 minutes to taxi in. So that's where I get my 30 minutes from. And yeah, so flight plan, yep, I'm happy. So I like to get me an operational flight plan, and this is what I will use. Okay, let me bring it back one more time. The one thing I do want to check is my airport weather. Make sure that that's pretty much agreeing with what I expect. So let's go to airport weather list, and departure, wind 050 at 5. Yep. Yep. Light rain. Yep. So I'm happy. All right. So I'm gonna go back up here now. I'm just gonna pull this out the way for the rest of the flight. You guys may not be able to see it, and let's see. And I will mute the a certain display. So basically, anything I pull over, you'll still see X-plane unless I unmute that. Okay. So yeah, okay, guys. I think we are. I'm looking over at my laptop. I want my laptop to reflect this stream, and looks like I may be inside the wrong URL, so just bear with me just another second. You know, it's actually, guys, there's a lot of bearing with me that I'm gonna have to ask you guys to do. So I'm in to go to my Creator Studio and find that stream that I think I'm at. Content and live. Okay. And inside a narrow body. Simplicity, I think that's the one that we want. And click on the stream and it should come up live. And if it does, then I know I'm good to go. All right, so according to my stats, I've got somebody lurking. Hey guy, whoever you are, glad you're here. All right, and I know one of the people lurking would be me. So yeah, okay. But as I look at my laptop, I don't really see the stream. So I'm not sure if not sure that I'm streaming what I want to stream. Yep. Let's see. Help. Okay. Don't know what to do because I don't want to spend 2 hours doing stuff. And, well, okay. I think that did it. Okay, yeah, I think I'm good. All right. Now, let's get the show on the road. All right. So, and if you do happen to stop by, just say hello in the chat. That way I know I'm not alone. All right, so I've already had my first officer start the electrical power. My APU should already be running, which it is. But even though it's running, since it's running, I might as well use it, right? So let's get off of the battery. Let's see. There we go. Let's get off the battery. And I didn't hear that come up too well, so let's turn some things up here. Make sure you guys
ready for preliminary pre-flight procedure.
Well then, I guess you are. Preliminary pre-flight procedure.
Preliminary pre-flight procedure.
Good stuff. All right, so that means that she will turn on my IRSs so I could go ahead and build my flight plan. So let's go ahead and get this built. All right. In an IRS position. All right. Yes, that's what we'll do. So we know we're in Atlanta. At least that's what we think we are. KATL. The ATL. I have to think of it that way to remember it. And
park brake set.
Let's get our GPS position, drop it in the scratch pad.
Preliminary pre-flight procedure complete.
And drop it here. Make sure that these guys...
Enter the data in the CDU.
That's what I'm doing, Linda. Give me a chance. All right, so make sure these guys match pretty closely, and they do. Yep. All right, so yeah, I'm happy. All right, so let's contact Southwest and have them send the route over. And we'll do that by pressing this button. In fact, Southwest is the delivery and the airline that we're flying today. And while that's loading up, I generally adjust my lights, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit request, and while the request is loading up, go ahead and turn my lights up on my panels. I got 3 sets of lights to turn up, so go ahead and turn them all up, just to make things easier to see. And go ahead and run this test here. That looks good. Run that test there. That looks good. And dim the lights and test these lights, and everything looks good. All right, happy. And let's uncage this guy. Let's get uncaged. hold it and let it settle a little. All right, so yeah. And let's see now, that's still kind of hard to see. Um, Actually, this is for my heads-up display, which I am not going to be using today. All right, so back to our CDU, and since I've already got that loaded, requested, then I can load it. And software is 1301, runway 8 right. Yep, that's us. And I can go ahead and activate that. All right, so generally my plan will have my SID and most of my start. It will not have my approach. So I do need to put in a runway for my approach, but we haven't gotten there yet. So we just kind of hold up and we will get to it. All right. So let's go here to legs and see what we got. Kind of looking for discontinuities, and I don't see any. All right, so I'm happy. All right, let's go ahead and get our wind data and get that loaded up. All right, for our flight. And we can go ahead and execute that. Go back to legs and back to our route page. And now we are ready to initialize our performance. All right. And we go ahead and load it. And I'm going to jump back over here to my, let's see, to my Simbrief flight plan, the one on the PDF, and I want to have in my final reserves at least 4,800 pounds, or around it, 4,900 pounds. So this is what I should have when I land, at least that much. And the amount of fuel I am going to need is going to be 14.9. So I'm going to go ahead and drop 14.9 here. And I'm happy. So now what I need to do is go over here and get the people and fuel loaded. So I can just call Airside Services and say, hey guys, if I load my operational flight plan, then I get 162 passengers and 9,400 pounds of cargo to load. All right, so I'm going to activate that, and I know I'm going to need some fuel. I've got 87% of my fuel, so my truck should show up any second now. All right, cargo will load and my passengers will load. And it's all going to be done in real time, so it may seem relatively slow, but it's all good. It's all good. All right, so yeah. And okay, so that sounds like my fuel truck has arrived. Let's just peek outside and check. Yep, he's there. Cool beans. Unfortunately, at this airport, the jetways are not powered. The power on them is not modeled. Let me just double check that. Yep, see, if it was, this wouldn't be grayed out. So yeah, but hey, this is a sim, and it's all good. All right, now, so we got our fuel coming on board. You see it coming up here, so I'm happy. All right, so what is next? Okay, looks like I got a message in Discord, and maybe not. All right, so go ahead and get my M1 takeoff limits. Now, There's no.
Flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
This these engines are capable of 26,000 pounds of thrust, or 26K in one. But we don't need that much thrust. It just put extra wear and tear on the engine. So I am going to derate them to 24,000 pounds of thrust and do climb one. Actually, I think because of noise, just to be a good citizen, a good airline citizen, I am going to derate it to 22. And yeah, because we are going over a fairly populated area. All right, and let's put our takeoff data in. We'll do a flaps 5 takeoff. And I won't get my final center of gravity until all of my passengers load up. They should start to load any second now. Let's make sure our door is open. Yep, that door is open. I'm happy. And let's go ahead and put our V1 speeds in and let Linda go back to work.
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
All right, Linda. Pre-flight procedure. So while she's doing that,
Pre-flight procedure.
I am going to set up my MCP and my takeoff speed can be set to 146. Let's see, I need to know what my heading and climb out altitude is. So I'm going to get that from the departure. I am departing on the Gary 2 and my transition is IRQ. So departing on the Gary 2. So departures, look for Gary 2, there it is. And let's see, so my top altitude is 10,000 feet. I'm departing on 8 right. So I'm going to climb out on a head nose 095 and intercept 082 at Raleigh.
Please check that the flight level is set correctly. Please check that the landing altitude is set correctly.
095. And I will do that, Linda. 095, and my top altitude is 10,000. So yeah, happy. That reminds me, I've actually rebuilt my computer. I've had all kinds of issues with the computer, so right now my Bravo needs a little work, so I could use the buttons on it rather than having to mouse everything in.
Wind shear, terrain, hold up.
And I need to check the audio because I think it's on the wrong, coming out the wrong speakers.
Pre-flight procedure complete. I'm ready for pre-flight checklist.
Okay. All right. Maybe it wasn't. I got this headset on. I think it's just canceling a lot of the outside noise. All right. So she's ready for pre-flight checklist. So before we run that checklist, a couple things I want to do. I'm going to turn her flight director off, turn mine on, and turn hers back on. And RTO is set up there. That looks good. And yeah, all right, 095. And I need to get my altimeter, barometer numbers. So there are a couple ways I can get them. I can either go to a website and get them, or I can listen to the ADAS. So yeah, let's just listen to the ADLs for Atlanta. I got this little neat guy here that I can look up my frequencies on, and so pull it down. It's dark behind it so I can see it a little better. Okay, Atlanta arrival ADLs and departure ADLs is 128. Shoot, I'm sorry, that's not departure ADLs, that's departure. Let's see, so I tell you what, let's turn everything off and just turn on ADLs by itself. Alright, departure ADLs, 125.55, that's what I want. So, go down here and tune this radio. Kind of hard to see it, but I turn this up all the way. And I'm going to put it in COM 2, 125.55. So let's get 55 dialed in, and 125. Right, 25.55. Let's pop that in. 3005. And for some reason I'm having trouble hearing.
Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta, International Information, Yankee, 17-5, Zulu, Special. Wind 060 degrees at 5
Maybe even you can hear it.
Visibility 9 miles. Rain. Sky conditions. View at 850. Scattered at 5,000. Broken at 8,500. Temperature 18. Dew point 15. Altimeter 3005. Arriving runway 08 left. 09 right. 10. Departing runway 08 left.
And
08 right.
it goes
09
down.
left. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Yankee.
Whiskey. One of those
Hartsfield,
winds.
Jackson, Atlanta, International Information, Yankee, 17-5, Zulu, Special. Wind 060 degrees at 5 knots. Visibility 9 miles.
060 at 5.
Sky
All right.
conditions.
So
View at
I noted
850.
all of that
Scattered
good
at
stuff.
5,000. Broken at
And
8,500. Temperature 18. Dew point 15. Altimeter 3005. Arriving runway 08 left. 09 right. 10.
Too many things
Departing
at one
runway
time. Let me
08
stop
left.
this.
08 right. 0
This can get annoying, and I've got this uncanny ability to just tune it out and not hear it. All right. Move this guy back up where it's fairly out of the way. And let's see where I'm at with my passengers, 57%, and terminal 30.05. And 30.05 on the backup. I know you guys probably can't see that, but I got it set. All right. And Cat 3, yep, got my Cat 3 placard. And yeah, so I am ready for that checklist. Let's run that checklist. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Voice recorder.
Set on.
Oxygen. Tested 100%. Navigation and display switches. Normal, auto. Window heat. On. Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Flight instruments.
All right. I've got I got heading 096, heading 095, altitude 1019, and barometer is 30.05.
Heading 95. Altitude 1013. Altimeter 3004.
Close enough.
Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
All right.
Enter the missing data in the CDU.
All right, so she's looking for the CG data and 83%. I think I'm close enough to put it in now. So I'm gonna just go ahead and drop it in here. CG.
Ready for before start procedure.
And I'm gonna have her set, well, let me go set this to 6 right quick. Okay. And look over things. All right. And let's do a before start procedure. Before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
One thing that I should have did was waited until all of my passengers were inside
Before start procedure complete.
before I ran that procedure. So I know next time.
Ready for before start checklist.
All right, so let me just check on my passengers. I think they're all aboard. Still got a few of them to come, so I'm gonna wait until they get here before I do the before start checklist. And while I'm waiting to do the before start checklist, I am gonna take a quick little break. And since I don't have a break screen, I'm just gonna hide myself and mute the mic. All right. Find the cursor. Okay, so that shouldn't have taken too long, I hope. All right, so let's see where we are here with our load. Okay, so I learned something by closing the door before the passengers. I only got 95% of them on board, so yeah. All right, so it's reasonable and fair. Five passengers didn't show up. All right, so that changes my CG, and let me have her double check. Set THS for takeoff.
Trim up.
Okay, so she's gonna find that 6.25. Thanks, Linda. All right, and yeah, so I think we are ready to do pushback. All right, so let's so we just did before start checklist, and before start procedure. Okay, so yeah. All right, so what do we want? Let's get that pushback tractor. Ground services, got a pushback request.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
I'll let you know where I want this thing. All right, I want this thing right here. Right here. Okay, there we go. That didn't work.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Talk about deja vu. Didn't you just say that? All right.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, my tow is coming. Got a push truck out there, but that one is not going to work. We need a real McCoy. So, here she comes. While that's going on, I always try to ask myself, now what can I do, or what do I need to do to stay ahead of the aircraft? Because it's so easy to fall behind the aircraft that...
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
So what I'm going to do is turn my systems on. Just kind of make sure those work. Of course, I have to do that again. And let's see, what else do I want to check here? Check my squawk code, 3210, looks good. And yeah. All right. Before start
Welcome aboard,
checklist.
Captain. Tow's connected. Bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Papers.
On
Here
board.
comes the pushback. Light them up.
Flight deck door. Closed and locked. Fuel.
I got 14,800 pounds.
Pumps on. Passenger signs. On. Window.
Locked.
Locked. MCP.
Speed 146, heading 095, altitude 10,000.
Speed 146. Heading 95. Altitude 10,000. Takeoff speeds.
V1 139, V rotate 140, and V2 146.
V1 139. V rotate 140. V2 146. CDU pre-flight.
Complete. Complete.
Complete. Rudder and aileron trim.
Free and 0.
Taxi and takeoff
I'm
briefing.
just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Complete.
Anti-collision light.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Startup
Start checklist
clearance
complete.
obtained.
Engine start procedure.
Start number 1 engine.
Waiting for the command to start sequence. Starting number 1 engine.
Since he's going over to my left, then I'm gonna start number 1 first. I'm sorry, since he's going over to my right, I'm gonna start my left engine first.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
25 N2.
All right. I should be doing a better job monitoring. Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine. Starter cutout.
Okay, there's my pin. All right. Get into rotation. I should see my oil pressure come up around 20. All right,
25 N2.
let's light them off. Introduce fuel. N1, N2 rotation. Oil pressure is coming up, and I should cut out at about 55.
Starter cutout.
Okay,
Engine
happy.
start procedure complete.
Got good starts. Okay. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
After start procedure.
After landing procedure.
Abort.
All commands and checklists aborted.
Before taxi procedure.
Before taxi procedure. Ready for before taxi procedure.
Okay.
Flaps 5 set.
APU is off. Continuous.
Before taxi procedure
Fuel is
complete.
on.
I am ready for before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators. On. Pro heat. On. Anti-ice. Wing anti-ice off. Engine anti-ice off. Isolation valve. Auto. Engine start switches. Continuous. Recall.
Checked.
Checked. Auto brake. Rejected takeoff. Engine start levers.
Idle detent.
Flight control.
Checked.
Checked. Flaps.
Flaps 5, green light.
Flaps 5 set. Green light. Detent. Ground equipment.
Clear.
Clear.
Ready to taxi?
Before taxi checklist complete.
Good.
Ready for taxi.
Me too. All right. So we're gonna go up here and hook a left turn and taxi to 8 right. All right. So yeah. Release park brake.
Park brake release.
And the system actually likes it when I release it. Brakes check. Steering check. Taxi light on.
Taxi lights on. Horizontal stabilizer trimmer not set for takeoff. Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for takeoff.
Alright, so I just want to make sure that we were on the right path. So yeah, we are taxiing to runway 8 right, and the big blue tube, and we're just about here. So the flight crew is confirmed that they're good back there. And even though we weren't on the frequency for taxi, let's go ahead and tune to the tower. Runway 08 is what we want. Right. All right. Atlanta Tower, Southwest 1301, holding at runway 8 right, ready to depart. Nothing is coming. That's gonna land on our head. Clear for takeoff, runway 8 right. Southwest 1301. Alright, before I take that runway, let's get this lights on. Takeoff procedure. Before takeoff procedure. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure.
Thank you. There we go. Now we can take this runway. Can't take it.
Before takeoff procedure
My
complete.
nose was over the line.
Ready for before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff
Stabilized.
checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
5, green light.
Flaps 5 set. Green light. Detent. Stabilizer trim. Runway 08 right confirm. Is not set for takeoff position.
Set THS for takeoff.
Before takeoff checklist is not complete.
Set THS for takeoff.
Trim down.
If you said that earlier, you said it wrong. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist.
Do this one more time.
Flaps.
Flaps 5, green light.
Flaps 5 set. Green light. Detent. Stabilizer trim. 60 units set. Transponder. TARA set. Before takeoff checklist complete.
Take off.
I am ready for your takeoff. Set time. Stabilized.
Toga. Not getting the toga. Go. Check that. Set.
Takeoff thrust set. knots. Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1. Acceleration altitude. Flaps 1 set.
Okay, engines cut back to cut down on noise. Flaps up.
Speed checked. Flaps up.
I'm hand flying it.
Flaps up set.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds. On. Packs. Auto. Landing gear. Up and off. Flaps. Up. No light. Detent.
Alright,
After takeoff checklist down to the line complete.
so we're in Bravo, so let's bug up to 195. speed low. And toga. Flaps. Gears up. Flaps are up. Speed set. Right. So we want to get on that magenta line. I'm laser focused on the pilot display to the point where the pilot flying can never enjoy the scenery. Of course, I can switch to autopilot and enjoy the scenery, which I'm about to do.
Thousand to level off.
All right, and say they slid me to 24.
Flight
And
level 100. Landing lights switches off.
autopilot on.
Autopilot 1, on.
All right. Look, Mom, no hands. All right. So that was fun. You know, the best thing about these airliners, let's see what our outside temperature is. Total air temperature right now is 9 degrees. Anti-icing on.
All commands and checklists aborted.
Anti-ice on. Wing anti-ice on.
Wing anti-ice on.
Engine anti-ice on. I think it's just so cool
Engine anti-ice on.
having the first officer do that, do some stuff, because I started out flying this airplane and oh man, I'm out of the icing conditions. And of course, I would have to do everything myself. Anti-ice off. Listen to those sounds. Anti-ice off. And let's switch to departure. Come on, Lunda. Do your job. Anti-ice off. And that should be popping up. So I'm hitting the right button. Anti-ice off. That's amazing. Somehow or another, my button got remapped. And I don't know how that could have happened. I don't know how that could have
Approaching
happened.
transition.
So turn them off. Seatbelts off.
Seat belts off.
Okay, well, I don't know why anti-ice is bringing up something different. Okay, looks like we are good to go.
Transition altitude.
After checklist, after takeoff checklist below the line. Set standard. Already set. After
Standard barrow set cross-checked.
Ap-
Passing flight level 19,435 now.
after takeoff
Ready for
checklist
after takeoff
below the line.
checklist below the line.
After takeoff checklist below the line.
After takeoff checklist below the line. Altimeters.
Standard.
Standard set, cross-checked. After takeoff checklist below the line complete.
Okay, we've been cleared up to our cruise altitude. Which was 33, I believe. $29. All right, 29 is what we're gonna set our cruise to. And everything looks okay. No lights except for a few green. I never did check our landing altitude at Raleigh, Durham. That landing altitude should be 450, and 29,000 is correct for our flight level on the pressurization. Happy. All right, so we're entering our first leg waypoint, which is Gary, and we're still climbing out. Let's engage VNav so we can climb on up to our flight speed. Because quite frankly, we've been flying pretty slow. All right. And we didn't leave a few minutes early, so there's no need to fly slow. All right. So at this point, I can sit back and kind of enjoy the flight. Definitely got a cloud deck below us. And guys, I am gonna do some housekeeping stuff that I wish I'd done before. But let's see, actually, see that wing flex every now and then. There it is. The flexing there. In real life, there's not a whole lot of flex unless it's really, really, really turbulent. So let's turn off the seat belts so that they can begin their service. Seat belt off.
Already off.
Good deal. Awesome. All right. And so go to the left wing view. Actually, I got it backwards. This is actually the right wing. And that's not even stopping in the right place. Get back in the airplane. Stay in the airplane. That's a pretty cool one. Back in the airplane. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. I'm okay with that one. Yeah, if we had some scenery below us, we'd be able to see it. Back a little bit. And yeah. And let me just save this.
Camera is saved.
Okay, so hopefully I got that saved. What I like about Zibo aircraft is, I don't see any passengers. Normally I can see passengers, so they may
1000 to level off.
be turned off. Let's look and see. Configure. General. Let's go through everything. Okay, that looks good. Pounds, inches, barrel, hot yoke, chocks off, cold and dark, ground power cable. That's not modeled. Flight plan save format should be FMS. Checklist should be detailed. Even though I never use it, so it doesn't really matter. I should. I do want to sync the Q and H's with the. I want everything synced with the captain because I don't run the. I don't go over there and check the FO stuff. All right. Hot cockpit seats. Nope. And so back. All right. So that was general config. Then we go up to display and then exterior. Split or blended. Split is what we got now. Air stills. No, because I let something else handle that. Sat is in the rear. Lights are LEDs. Pulsating lights. No, because that would, if I use pulsating lights, then I'll have an extra bank to turn off and on, and using the mouse to turn them off and on is kind of, long lead strobes, long LED strobes, yes. All right, and back. Okay, that was exterior. Was that exterior? Yeah. exterior. And we'll go to systems. HUD for captain, yes. Aspirated air probe, total air temperature probe. And looks like I moved into an area where I can pick up somebody's ATIS. All right. In fact, just turn COM 2 off, which it is. Okay. Probe heat switches is auto. Probe heat switches auto. No, that means my first officer can manipulate those. Engine start switches auto. I manipulate those. RAS, we turn that on auto. That's runway analysis and announcement system. Not announcement, but anyway, it gives me situational information. Let's see, what else do I have? Multimode, comm radios, 3 digits, yep. And SoCal, yes. Flight deck cam, yes, they want that camera. Pressurization, digital, I'm okay with that. ILS, enunciate, no smoking chime only. Voice recorder switch, analog gauges, and so I got these analog gauges here, and if I went no, then I would get, well, maybe they don't change in flight. They generally would change. Okay, they did change. Analog. So these are the non-analog. And what I like about this, I think I can. Yeah, I think I want those digital. And you guys saw the difference. This is supposed to be the digital stuff, right? And if I go analog, then it changes to this, and I have to uncage this and tune this manually. Yeah, so I definitely want the digital stuff. Okay, y'all down for gauge? No, I don't need a gauge for that. And speed intervention button, I do want those for both speed. Okay, I got the Collins panel, I like that. RMI, I still yet to figure out what that is. High altitude landing, that says no. The fuel cutoff, I do like the switches instead. Okay, clock variant. Now I got one, and is there another variant? I've never seen but one variant. Hydraulic compensator cartridge and center fuel pump auto shutdown. So once I exhaust fuel out of this center pump, it'll automatically turn off. I'm gonna say no. Well, I guess the real plane may have an auto shutdown, so I'm gonna leave it on yes. Okay. And that was systems, displays, chronological in seconds, yep. NPS, what is NPS? I don't know. Okay, PDF is radio announcements, angle of attack / radio announcements, yeah, that's fine. PDF feed speeds, flap speed, yeah, flaps and speed, yeah. Navigational display, track up, that's pretty standard, even though heading up is easier for me to read because knowing exactly which direction my airplane is heading, I find helpful if I'm going to the east. To have this pointed to the east tends to help me. But I'm trying to get used to the track up because that's that's really standard. If your radio course is on, distance rings, yes. Now that's these white rings, and I've gotten used to them being on now. There was a time when they were kind of annoying. And fuel gauge over and under, I like that because it totals the fuel, whereas side by side, when I'm trying to figure out how much fuel I got to do rough math, and like if I see this 11,000, I'm gonna say, well, if, as I do over and under, I know I got 11.1, 11,100, so it's a little bit more accurate for me. And let's see, fuel flow on ECAS. Let's turn the ECAS on. Let's see, so that's going to be engine, right? And that's fuel flow on ECAS. And let's see, that says no. Let's see what shows up if I turn that on. Alright, so fuel fly, and it's actually pronounced ICAS. I call it ECAS because I tend to want to pronounce it the way it's look like it's spelled. Anyway, I didn't see anything change, and I don't need stuff. I don't need any more information on this ICAS than is necessary. LDU, flight control, LDU, and LDU brake temperature. LDU, landing, flight control. I'm not sure what LDU is, but this is displays, and I don't need it. Never had it before. Ground speed on PDF, I do like that because for me, having the ground speed kind of gives me a reference. And I got it on the navigational display, so do I really need it on the PDF? Let's see if it's any more prevalent if I put it on the PDF. And obviously this stuff is not working in cruise. I know it works on the ground because I've turned it off and on the ground, and I can see stuff popping on in and out. So yes, no need to just keep going back and forth. Okay, VNAV speed band, I'm gonna turn that on. I don't know what it does, but hopefully I see something different. Engine quantity and quarts, yeah, I understand quarts, and that's this right here, and set 18 on both sides. Missed approach, dash cyan line, yeah, like that. And ECAS, full thrust plus bug. I want all the information I can get on those critical phases of flight. ECAS N1 bug, yes. And single Q flight director. The default is no. Single Q flight director. I'm gonna turn that. I'm not sure what that is, so I'm just leave it alone. All right. Sometimes I turn stuff on and not know what I'm doing, and then all of a sudden I see stuff and I'm like, how did this get here? How do I undo it? And can't for the life of me remember how to undo it. Okay, FMS, I got the A1, the older one, And let's see, so the A2 version has the FCOM button and the ATC button, whereas the A1 version has the climb, cruise, and descent buttons, which most of the Boeings have. So I went back to using A1. Route 2 installed, yes. Initial reference button is smart, no. So I have to manipulate that. RS entry message align, that's on yes for that message. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Ready
And
for descent procedure.
okay, we're ready to descend already. Descent procedure.
Descent procedure.
Okay, ground entry inhibit, plan fuel installed.
Descent procedure complete.
So, be now wake up, FMC sound, approach reference, second page, and be now barrel temp comp. Be barrel temp comp. Let me just leave that where it's at.
Ready for descent checklist.
Okay, are we descending? Uh-oh, I think I'm gonna miss my top of descent. If I don't bring that on down. And I got to pull that chart to figure out my arrival, to figure out what where I want to put that. All right, so I got to take a break. And then we'll do our descent checklist when I get back. All right. So yeah, let's see. Okay, I am back, as you can hear. I guess I can turn the cam back on. Let you see that back. All right, and we'll do the descent checklist. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization.
$450.
Recall.
Check.
Auto brake.
2.
Landing data.
Bring up this calculator and fill out some stuff. Alright, so that's gonna force me. should have started a descent. I didn't. So the flight level change. And turn VNAV back on. I'm stuck with flight level change at this moment. But looks like I should be 280 at jury, 210 at jury. Okay, I hadn't gotten to the top of the set, so let's go back to the email. Alright. Maybe I had. So, a friend of mine told me whenever I do something like this, I might need to reset stuff. Doing this. That didn't work. Alright, so let's try this. Let's try. That didn't work either. So I am gonna hold this one. Good altitude hold here. And go to V now, just hit top of descent. So now I'm going to V now. Still want to gauge. Get rid of the speed. Come down. And 7. I come down at 1,000. So I want to be at 210. Jury. Probably shouldn't have hit that level change and started my descent. I think I just started my descent too early. And so let's come on down. Let's come on down. Not level change. So that'll get me at 210 at jury. Alright, and there was something else that I was about to do. Oh, V-reference calculator. So in order to do that, I need to figure out what my approach is. In order to figure out my approach is, I need to know what the weather is at RDU. So fortunately, there are sources even in the cabin that I can call it up rather than having to listen to an ADA. Since I'm out of the ADA's range, I should be out of range for ADA's. So in my case, I am just going to open my browser and go to a link I have saved. It's called Mutar. And yeah, so the terminal is 3000 at RDU. Going the wrong way. It's hard for you guys to see, but I'm trying to get the 300 dialed in. Got it? And winds are 230 at 12, so I know. Oh, that makes it easier. I know I'm going to use the 2 3s, and I am in an airliner. So if I can get 2 or 3 right, then that would be wonderful. So let's go to the CDU and find my arrival. I should be arriving on the Dempstra Star, and 23 right, and you know, I have been doing ILSs, and I had a debate with one of my friends, Captain Winstead, and he and I were talking about the RNAVs, and lo and behold, I couldn't recall some of the things that I knew about the RNAVs, so I am going to fly an RNAV. We'll do the butts transition. That's gonna, since I'm coming up from the south, and 1, 2, 3, so that's gonna take me up to the north and bring me back. Okay, so that's good. All right, and yeah, all right. So we got a runway in. So now I can go back to this guy here and go to this performance. I know I'm going to be doing 2-3 right, and conditions are dry.
Approaching transition.
Winds at RDU are 230 at 12. And let's see if we can engage a RNAV now. VNAV. Yep. Great. So
Transition level. Ready for approach checklist.
right. Standard 300. And that should set this one automatically. Yep. And should even set my first officers automatically. Yep. So yeah, that's what some of the stuff I did in the tablet did for me. All right. And I hope I can remember to go back and save that stuff. All right. Outside air temperature is 28 degrees. Boy, is that warm? 28 Celsius. And 3000. Alright, and flaps, we are going to do flaps 30. AC auto and ice is off. Brakes, use auto brake 2 is what we want. And I think that's what I got set up here. Yep. And, speed brakes auto. And reverse, no credit for that. So we're going to add 6 to our VREF, our landing weight. And this is always just a guess for me. Well, sort of a guess. My weight at the moment is 13,970 pounds. And I've probably got a good, I'm gonna say I got a half hour to go before I land, right? Okay, so I got a half hour to go, and I'm sipping this according to my flight plan. Then this airplane should burn 5,900 pounds per hour. So half of that, half of 6,000 is 3,000, and half, yeah, so that's about 228. So we can subtract 28 from our weight of 39.6. that's gonna give us 13.6. That's what we expect to land with. 13.6. Okay. Yeah, that's right. 13,600. 13600. Okay. Yeah. And that gives us a landing ref of 50 and flaps 30. 30 flaps slash 150 on the EP ref. And now I hope that's within the realm of feasibility. Okay, so we've done that. All right. And what's next? Okay. So Tuesday early afternoons, for me, may not be the best time to stream and have people drop by, because yeah, it's been like doing a recording so far. Anyway, I guess most folks at work. Let's see, what do I have now? I've got that done, and let's see, let me save this while I'm thinking of it. Save all figs. Right. Now, hopefully, when I do my next flight, all that stuff I just put in, remember. That's the plan anyway. All right, so what's next? What do I want to do?
Takeoff was great. We will see your landing.
All right, we're going to see my landing. So it's a little early for our approach checklist. And she said my takeoff was great. How about that? So we're doing an RNAV. So I don't have to worry about the I don't have to worry about the ILS frequency, but I do need to put in a course for the RNAV. So let me go back to Avro tab, bring this chart back up, and let's see, let's go and get let's search for RDU. Search. Okay, Raleigh, Durham. And 435. I got 450 as the landing altitude. We are doing the Yankee, RNAV Yankee approach. That was 23 right, RNAV Yankee. 23 right, that's Zulu. 23 right, RNAV Yankee. Here we go. That's what we want. And our approach course is 234, which I kind of knew, but just as an exercise. To look at it. 2, 3, 4. And our top, let's see, our decision height is 609. So if we ain't got the airport in sight, about 609 feet, then we have to do a go around. Drive went out and came back. All right. And our minimum altitude is going to be let's see, we are just doing an RNAV, not the not an LNAV. So, and we do have vertical guidance. So let's just make it 735 as my decision height. Okay, good deal. All right. Outside air temperature, clouds, so plus 13, so I don't need any ice on. So I'm happy. All right. So yeah. And let's zoom in on our approach map. Put our fixes in so that we'll know how far we are out. So we landing at RDU. Okay, RDU. Right? And let's see what 15 miles from. See, I tell you what. Let's not do this. Let's do it this way. Let's see here. Let's do runway. RW, here's my W, 23, right, let's see if it'll take that, yep, alright, then let's do 15 miles from that, a range 15 miles from that, and, okay, so we get down now. Let's see. Make sure that I got everything still on. Auto throttle spin off. Okay. That's being retarded. Alright, and then I'm gonna know about 10 miles out from the touchdown point. And let's do a beam to touchdown point. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna land on this side right here.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches on.
A beam. A little bit fast, so I do need some drag. So probably don't need 4 spoilers, but right now, see, I lift up those spoilers to create an extra drag to help me slow down. Okay, not slowing down the way I want, so I am going to go ahead and make it 4. And the speed limit is, there's my airport here. Fortunately, 23 is on this side, so I'm gonna fly up here, over here, and come back around and land. That's the plan. So that's why I'm so high. Auto throttle has went back off. Needed to stay on. Actually, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna stay on the left side of the airport. And got my fix info in. The fixes are those green things that I just put in. I'm actually put in a 5 nautical mile ring. And so that's 15, 10, 5, and turn the, let's see, I want to turn that beam off. So turn the beam off. Okay, yeah. And, all right, there's the beam. Okay, now see that beam. All right. So yeah, I'm happy. All right. And let me zoom in on this guy here. Let me throw in some flaps. What do we want? Let's do flaps 5. Flaps 5.
V reference 150.
Hey, Sproutings.
Minimum sparrows 734 set.
I'm the world's
Approach
worst
briefing.
for calling names, so if I butchered it, forgive me. And I'm glad you stopped by, and yeah, hope I don't botch this landing too badly. So yeah. Let's get the speed brake out. Go back to my legs page. Okay. And looks like we are, make sure I don't have a discontinuity, which I do. So let's go ahead and put that butts there to solve that. Execute it, and that way it will fly around this path here and come back in and line me up here at, let's see, this is my 10-mile ring, so it's going to line me back up at roughly 11 miles. This is my 15-mile ring. You forgot. Oh, you're forgiven. I got a heart right over that last word, so it was hard to read. Thank you for forgiving me. Let's see, my auto brake, my auto throttle keep failing on me. All right. So let's see how I do on this landing. Probably, let's see, I'm usually okay on the landings. It's my approaches that I'm not that good on. But since I'm doing a RNAV approach, then all I gotta do is let the GPS and the autopilot fly me all the way down, and I just make the touchdown. So we'll see. Okay, complete.
Descent checklist complete.
Right, finish my descent checklist. Of course, it took me forever to finish it. If you see me looking around, it's because I got a monitor there, and I got a laptop there, and and an iPad here. So yeah, I'm trying to keep my situational awareness intact. So I'm flying the 737 with the Southwest livery. should have 5 degrees of flaps in it. So I thought I did. I don't see them. Let's check. Nope, I don't have them in. Flaps 5.
Speed checked. Flaps 5.
Right. They're coming on now. Let's see if we see them now. There we go. I see them now. All right.
Flaps 5 set.
Good deal. After I come out of this turn, we'll go flaps 15 and drop our landing gear. That will we'll drop our landing gear about right here. That will help us when we get to this deceleration mark. Whenever I'm here, I always ask myself, now where am I behind the plane? What can I do to make sure that I stay ahead of this guy? And so I'm running through things in my mind. I do know I want to do my before landing checklist at some point with my first officer. Taxi, yeah, see, this thing is not really a complete checklist, even though she can pick it up and see stuff that I can't see. But it's all good, it's cool. All right, so let's put this guy back. Actually, I'm level enough now to put those flaps in, but I'm gonna hold them out. Well, I need to be dropping down to 168, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop those flaps. Flaps 15.
Speed checked. Flaps 15.
Alrighty.
Flaps 15 set.
Drag required. Let's put a little bit of drag in. Make sure that now I've got 62% on this engine. So I'm not sure that my auto throttle is okay, so that may have been due to a turn, but actually looked like alright, so let's reset the auto throttle. Alright, and our, what was our missed approach altitude, 735, and we want to climb to 3,400. Missed approach, climb to 1,000, then right to 2,200, direct to Durham and hold. All right, so 1,000 right to 2,200. And direct to the waypoint Durham and hold. Okay. So let's go ahead and drop our landing gear. And we should be lining up with the runway. See the airport right here, and I'm going to turn off my labels. I don't need distractions. And this is 23 right. Okay. Autopilot came off, so we'll turn that back on. And VNAV is off, we'll turn that back on. We are doing a VNAV approach, a RNAV approach. So it's important that VNAV is working. All right. And the airplane is right in the crosshairs. This is our 10 nautical mile mark. So we probably are about 9 nautical miles from the airport at this point. I can probably check that by looking. Well, our next waypoint is Preston. And yes, I will have to add what's up. But I can get an idea where we are by these ranges. This is 15, 10, 5. Okay. On the descent. And let's do flaps 2-5.
Speed checked. Flaps 5.
Aboard.
All commands and checklists aborted. Flaps 5 set.
Flaps 25.
Speed checked. Flaps 25.
That didn't help. But we didn't really speed up, so that's good.
Flaps 25 set.
Right. Auto throttle's lost again, so let's reset that.
1000 to level off.
All right.
Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for landing.
Down to our decision height, which was, I think that was 760, I think. So we'll set it to 700. Before landing checklist.
This checklist cannot be performed in flight.
Before landing procedure.
Before taxi procedure.
Abort. Sure, I can't
All commands and checklists aborted.
see that.
1000 to level off.
After descent procedure. Okay, so the number of checklists. All right, so I don't have to worry with that. I think when I do an ILS, I get another checklist. Okay, I can see my package now.
Flaps. Flaps.
Flaps 30.
Speed checked. Flaps 30.
All right,
Flaps 30 set. Ready for landing checklist.
that's what I was looking for. Landing checklist.
Approaching. 2, 3,
Landing
right.
checklist. Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Speed brake. Minimum.
Armed.
Speed brake is not armed. Landing checklist is not complete.
Yeah, that's okay. Too low here. Too slow. Just know us.
Minimum.
my frame rates have dropped out. That's why I'm coming in such slow motion.
Tank rate.
When that happens,
Tank rate. Full up.
that makes it harder to fly.
50,
Full up. Tank rate.
Oh,
Tank rate.
Positive rate.
now I'm gonna do a long landing. I am not going around because my speed rate, my shucks. This is botched. Hello, Jeff.
Long,
Tank rate. Tank rate.
I know, right?
Tank rate. Tank rate.
long landing, long
Oh,
landing,
wasted.
7,000 feet.
Speed brake up.
Wasted.
Positive rate. Auto brake in use.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that was terrible.
3,000 remaining.
80 knots. Come on, 80 knots so I can give it some brakes, some manual braking.
2,000 remaining.
The manual braking now. All right.
60 knots.
60. Actually, I shouldn't give it manual braking until I'm at 60. I can turn this guy off because it won't release.
Off. Landing was not very good this time.
You think? So, all right. A good pilot always has a good excuse, right? Okay. Yeah, so if you look at my frame rate, this thing, I'm at 16 frames a second now, and this had dropped down to about 10, which had me in slow motion. So when I did something, by the time it responded, then let's see, after landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
By the time it responded, then let's say I'm going to southwest, so I can
Stabilized.
look at that guy. Man, he is flying. Yeah, by the time I responded, the plane was somewhere else, so it was, it was, as Captain Kirk would say, a no-win situation.
After landing procedure complete.
APU on.
Already off.
APU on.
Already off.
Whoa, God, yeah, stop. And the APU started.
Flaps upset.
And even now, my frame rate is much slower than it should be, so things are a little jittery, and as a little legacy that I get, which on the ground is not so bad, but on that final approach, I mean, it will kill you. So I'm actually at the wrong terminal for Southwest, but hey, if you guys don't tell anybody, I won't. All right, so we're gonna come right on in here and park. That was actually for the little regional, so let me go over here, try to grab this one. I've got an auto dock. That yellow thing on the wall tells me which way to go. So telling me to go to my left. All right. 9 meters, 7 meters, 6 meters left, 4 meters, 3 meters. We 1 meter. And okay, stop. All right. And let's go ahead and set these brakes and turn on the the generators here. And now I can kill the engines. All right, so even now I'm only getting 18 frames. So
Ready for shutdown procedure.
let's see if the gate works. At some places the gate works and some it doesn't. Quick way to find out. Nope, gate's not going to work. All right, shutdown procedure. So
Shutdown procedure.
that was really a whack landing. Should have did a go around, but it wouldn't have done any good because my frame rates had my sim running in slow motion. So even if I had done a go around, it would probably have taken twice as long in reality as it should, because my sim was running as much as 1/2 the rate
Shutdown procedure complete.
that it should have been running.
Ready for shutdown checklist.
Okay. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps,
So let's see what
as required.
landing rate was bad.
Probe heat,
Approach rating was
Off.
weak.
Hydraulic
I
panel.
figured.
set. Flaps,
Up.
up. Parking brake,
Set.
engine start levers,
And see, now that I done landed and I'm sitting here, now I'm back up to 30 frames. But it's funny because in cruise, I can see as many as 80 frames per second. What can I say? I gotta sort that out. Otherwise, we will not be able to enjoy our live streams. Cut off,
weather radar,
off. I never turned it on.
off. IRS mode selectors, off.
Okay.
Shutdown checklist complete.
All right.
Ready for secure procedure.
And followed. Our passengers have deboarded, so we can go ahead and do the secure. They may not have in real time. Actually, none of them have really deboarded, but that's okay. Secure procedure.
Secure procedure.
So guys, that was the 737 flying from Atlanta to Raleigh, Durham. And I hope that you guys enjoyed some of the flight, at least listening to me rant and ramble the whole way up, go through stuff. I try to make the flying these airplanes, no matter what I fly, informative. So if you are new, then you can pick up some tips and tricks. If you're a veteran, you can look at me and say, "Look at him. I wouldn't have did stuff that way. Does he know what he's doing?" Whatever the case may be. But in any case, I do appreciate you guys stopping by, and until next time, then I generally have a little song that I play from the Beverly Hillbillies that goes something like, y'all come back now, you hear? But don't have it. So as soon as she cut the battery off, then I am
Secure
going to
procedure complete.
end this stream, and I'm certainly
Ready for secure
not going to
checklist.
do a replay, which I've not really had a lot of success doing replays anyway because I run Active Sky. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and as much as I like to commit to a stream schedule, I am not, because every time I do, I never tend to stick to it. So, but I hope you guys will give me a like, subscribe, and help me grow this channel. I love flying these things, and I like having you guys along. All right, guys. Until next time.